Let's bring into the conversation now the ANC Western Cape spokesperson. You will know that the African National Congress is the main opposition in the Western Cape. Mr. Mtsweni, thank you very much for your time. What's your reaction when you see scenes like what we have been beaming this morning? People essentially being allowed, as our reporter says, by traffic authorities to try and cross bridges that have collapsed. That's quite dangerous. What is it that you, as the opposition, can do about this situation?
Good morning, Crowley, and the viewers of Newzroom Afrika. Indeed, we are extremely disturbed and saddened by the pictures that we've seen. We are on the ground, and we've actually instructed all our councillors, particularly in the city of Cape Town, in the Boland, as well as in the Theewaterskloof area and in the Overberg, to actually be on the ground and ensure that municipal disaster systems are actually activated. But beyond that, actually, we have this type of situations every year. What surprises us all the time is that the city of Cape Town in particular does not want to invest in infrastructure development, particularly in the drainage system and the stormwater system, particularly in the informal settlements. Every year when these disasters happen, they strike informal settlements, they strike townships, those affluent areas remain untouched. So we want to continue to call on the city of Cape Town to get its act together, put the disaster systems in place, but also let's not wait for the loss of life and for the ravaging of people's property before we declare this particular disaster, because as we are sitting here, the city of Cape Town is really dragging its feet, and it continues to show that the DA does not care about the lives of our people in the province.
Mr. Mtsweni, we have yet to get the Democratic Alliance or even the city authorities to try and react to what we are seeing on our screens, but I can almost predict that what they are going to say is that this is part and parcel of climate change, and therefore climate resilience in these cities has got to be looked into seriously. Their mantra, though, the Democratic Alliance mantra, has always been that where they govern properly. Does that talk to that, the scenes that we are seeing? Our reporter yesterday, the one that is on right now, was in the area of Lwandle, and the people there were telling her that city officials have not gotten to those areas. So when you say your people are on the ground, are you sure that they are in the very areas that where people claim they're being neglected by the authority of the day?
Well, firstly, Crowley, on your first part of the question, that's what the DA is good at. You're going to call them, they're going to come and speak English. That's the only thing that they do. These areas that you are referring to are areas that ANC councillors are actually on the ground. We've been raising these matters through IDB processes. We've been raising these matters through various council processes. But at the end of the day, when we've got a DA that simply exists to serve people in Constantia, to serve people in Camps Bay, to serve people in Blowbackstrand, the DA simply does not care. I mean, these scenes alone should actually say to you that as much as, yes, the DA may say they're the best run municipalities, just look at the pictures that are actually being on the screen right now. This is what the DA defines as the best run city. People swimming across the road, people dying, people losing their belongings, and people actually dying every year. This issue of rains in the Western Cape, you've got winter, you've got rain in winter, unlike probably other parts of the country. And yet every year we're going to sit here and discuss the same things. At the time when the ANC was running the city of Cape Town, this type of scenes were actually not there. But what is quite important here is to recognize that the DA does not invest in infrastructure, particularly in the informal settlements, and we are going to continue seeing things like this. But anyway, from our side, all our members of the provincial legislature today will be going across the city, particularly in areas such as Mfuleni, in areas such as Lwandle, as you probably put it. We're also going to go to the Boland area as well as the Theewaterskloof area to ensure that where possible, we may activate the national government to also ensure that they assist us. But our main call is that these areas must be declared as a national disaster so that the national is able to come and assist.
Well, Mr. Mtsweni, I'll tell you this much. People listening to you, they're going to say, well, you say the Democratic Alliance does not invest in these areas that are mostly occupied by black residents. They're going to say that's rich coming from you, given the disaster that we have seen in KZN. However, I really am out of time, so you and I are going to have to leave it there. And our reporter, Sifiso Mtsweni, bringing us those visuals. Thank you, Sifiso Mtsweni, for this update. We're going to continue giving the viewers the update as to what is happening there. Hopefully, the authorities are going to reach that area very soon before a disaster happens.